Beneath the burning sands of Egypt, where the wind whispers across dunes that have swallowed entire civilizations, a secret lay buried for more than 3,000 years. A city once alive with laughter, trade, and divine devotion vanished without a trace. For centuries, it was thought to be a myth, a legend told by scribes and echoed through the corridors of time. But when archaeologists brushed away the sand in 2021, what they uncovered would rewrite everything we thought we knew about ancient Egypt. They called it the Lost Golden City. Imagine walking where the pharaohs once stood, the air thick with the scent of freshly baked bread, artisans hammering gold into jewelry, priests chanting to Amun-Ra, the sun blazing above Thebes, the heart of an empire that commanded the ancient world. And then silence. The people gone, the walls abandoned, time itself turning this once vibrant metropolis into a ghost beneath the desert. It began with a quest for something entirely different. Archaeologists were searching for the mortuary temple of Tutankhamun's successor, in Luxor. But as their trowels cut through the compacted soil, something glittered pottery shards, bricks stamped with the seal of Amenhotep III, one of Egypt's greatest rulers. The excitement spread like wildfire through the team. What they'd found was not a temple but streets. Houses, storage rooms, ovens, and walls, standing almost perfectly preserved. It was a city, a lost city frozen in time. Amenhotep III, the magnificent pharaoh, ruled during Egypt's golden age around 3,400 years ago. His reign was a time of peace, prosperity, and architectural wonder. He built grand temples, expanded Egypt's borders, and filled the land with art and beauty. Yet little did anyone know his greatest city would one day vanish under the desert. They called it Aten, the dazzling Aten, after the sun disk god. It was a place of creation and craftsmanship, where artisans shaped amulets, gold, and pottery destined for temples and tombs. The city bustled with energy, its workshops humming, its streets alive with workers and merchants. But something happened. Something that made an entire population disappear almost overnight. When the team, led by famed archaeologist Zahi Hawass, began mapping the area, they were astonished by what they saw. Entire neighborhoods lay intact. There were bakeries with bread ovens still filled with ash, walls that reached up to a man's chest, and rooms filled with tools and pottery, just as they had been left thousands of years ago. Jars still contained dried meat, evidence of meals that were never eaten. It was as if the people had simply walked away and never returned. The deeper the team dug, the stranger the story became. Inscriptions revealed the name of the city, the Rise of Aten. It was no myth, it was real, and it had once been the largest administrative and industrial settlement in ancient Egypt, the very place where the empire's wealth was crafted and stored. But then, as quickly as it rose, it disappeared. Why? Some historians believe it was politics, an act of divine rebellion. Amenhotep III's son, the revolutionary pharaoh Akhenaten, turned his back on Egypt as traditional gods and declared that only one god should be worshipped, the sun disk Aten. He moved the royal court to a brand new capital hundreds of miles away, Amarna. Perhaps the dazzling Aten was abandoned in his radical vision to start anew. But the evidence buried in the sand suggests a more complicated story. Among the artifacts uncovered were rings and scarabs bearing both Amenhotep III and Akhenaten's names, suggesting father and son may have ruled together a co-regency. If that's true, then this city may have witnessed the very moment Egypt's spiritual foundation began to crumble. It could be the stage where Akhenaten's great religious revolution was born. And yet, the city's purpose wasn't just divine. Archaeologists found workshops producing glass, jewelry, and amulets of extraordinary craftsmanship. They found a room filled with mud bricks stamped with royal seals, evidence of massive construction projects. Another area contained a cemetery, still unexcavated, waiting to tell the stories of those who once lived and died there. In one home, a skeleton was found lying face down, arms outstretched as if trying to crawl to safety. Was it an accident? A collapse? Or was the city abandoned in haste after disaster struck? There are signs that the abandonment wasn't peaceful. Some walls were hastily built, dividing rooms. Food was left behind. Objects of daily life tools, vessels, even clothing remained untouched. To the archaeologists, it looked as though life had suddenly stopped. And when life stops so abruptly, something extraordinary must have happened. Could it have been plague? Famine? The wrath of the gods? Egypt's history during this period is filled with omens and divine warnings. The priests of Amun were powerful, and Akhenaten's new religion threatened that power. Some say the city was cursed, condemned as a reminder of the old order. Others think it was the natural course of history, people following the sun to the new capital at Amarna, leaving behind the very soil that had sustained their ancestors. But perhaps the most haunting thought is this, that beneath the sand, entire lives were simply forgotten. Mothers, artisans, scribes, priests, all erased by the wind and buried in silence for millennia. Until now, when the discovery was announced in 2021, the world's historians called it the most significant find since Tutankhamun's tomb. The sheer preservation of the site stunned even veteran archaeologists. Streets and alleyways still marked the rhythm of life. The pottery bore fingerprints, literal marks of people who lived 3,000 years ago. There was intimacy in the ruins, a whisper from a world that had waited too long to be remembered. But what truly sets this discovery apart, I sent to just the City A's aid, it's what it reveals about the people. The pots, the tools, the jewelry, they weren't made for kings. They were made by ordinary Egyptians. For the first time, we could peer into the daily lives of those who built Egypt's glory. The workers who baked the bread, fired the pottery, and shaped the gold that adorned temples and tombs. Their world had been invisible for so long, but not anymore. And yet, the mystery deepens. Beneath layers of sand still lie untouched sections districts that might hold palaces, temples, or archives detailing the transition from Amenhotep's reign to Akhenaten's, could hidden within those chambers be clues to the great religious upheaval that changed Egypt forever? Could we even find the moment when polytheism gave way to the world's first monotheistic faith? As the excavation continues, one can't help but wonder how many more secrets sleep beneath the Egyptian sands. For every tomb uncovered, 10 more lie waiting. For every city found, countless others are still swallowed by time. The dazzling Aten reminds us that history is not written in stone. It's buried in dust, waiting for someone to listen. Every grain of sand carries a story. Every broken pot, every wall, every faded carving is a heartbeat from the past. In the end, this lost city is more than an archaeological wonder. It's a mirror, a reflection of how civilizations rise, shine, and vanish, only to be rediscovered by those who refuse to let the past be forgotten. As the sun sets over Luxor, casting its golden light across the ruins, you can almost see them, the workers, the priests, the children moving through their city once more. For a moment, the sand stirs and history breathes again. The lost city of Aten is no longer lost, but its silence still speaks, and it reminds us that beneath every desert, beneath every forgotten place, the past is never truly gone. It waits, patient and eternal, beneath the sand.